Hello, my name is Adam, and I've been working as a psychiatrist for over 15 years. Throughout my career, I've heard countless stories about grief, about pain, about childhood, and even about madness. But what I'm about to share with you today was no ordinary therapy session, nor a case you'd ever find diagnosed in psychiatry books. It was the beginning of something I was never prepared to face. Several years ago, a small family of three moved into the house next to mine. The father, Mr. Allen, was an elderly man. Over time, we developed a friendly relationship.
Dr. Adam. My only son, Michael, doesn't like socializing much. He's a good young man, but he prefers isolation and never leaves the house.
Have you considered consulting a specialist? There might be something we could do.
We've grown used to it, Dr. Adam. He doesn't harm anyone. He just prefers living in his own world.
His words carried a strange mixture of acceptance and resignation. As time passed, I noticed changes in Mr. Allen's behavior. His appearances became rare. As for his son Michael, I never once saw him leave the house. It was odd, even unsettling at times, but I chose to respect their privacy. Still, there was something I couldn't ignore. Almost every night when I returned home from a long day at work, I'd hear the wife screaming with sharp anger. Sometimes I felt tempted to intervene, to knock on their door and ask if everything was all right. But I told myself, this isn't my place. These are family matters. They don't concern me. One cold night, I heard urgent knocking on my door. I jumped up immediately and opened it, only to find Mr. Allen standing there, his face pale, his expression grim.
Good evening, Dr. Adam. Could you please come with me to the house? I beg you. Things are out of control. I can't handle it anymore. I need your help. Right now.
I could feel something deeply wrong was happening. Calmly, I grabbed my medical bag and said, "Of course, just give me a moment to get my tools." It was the first time I ever stepped foot inside their home, despite them being my neighbors for over 3 years. The house looked tidy and organized, but what struck me more than anything were the walls, completely covered with framed photos, all of the same face, their son, Michael. There were photos of him lifting a golden trophy with a wide smile, another of him in school with a medal pinned to his chest, and one of him standing in an indoor stadium as a cheering crowd surrounded him. I couldn't hide my surprise as I looked at a wooden shelf stacked with trophies and medals. Who are all these awards for?
They're for my son, Michael. He used to be a professional player in his childhood. An extraordinary talent. He won many awards and championships, and his name spread across local clubs.
I can see that from the pictures. You must have been very proud of him.
We were, until everything changed.
We climbed the stairs to the second floor. When we reached the hallway, I saw his wife standing by one of the doors, her face flushed with rage, her eyes shimmering with strange tension. Suddenly, she began pounding on the door violently.
"I'm coming in. I won't wait any longer."
Before I could process what she meant, she shoved the door open with force and stormed inside. Her behavior shocked me. It was harsh, even humiliating for whoever was inside. I thought to myself, their son isn't a child anymore. How can she treat him like this? Suddenly, her scream erupted from inside the room.
"Will you sleep all day? Get up, you lazy good-for-nothing. You're driving me insane. Get up."
Come, you need to see this for yourself.
I followed him cautiously. What I saw left me speechless. In the middle of the room, his wife held a thick wooden stick, raising it high over a figure lying on the bed, covered with a heavy blanket. Then she struck. And again, mercilessly, relentlessly. What was most disturbing wasn't just the act. It was the lack of any reaction from beneath the blanket. Absolute stillness. Even more unsettling. Allen simply stood there, watching, motionless. I couldn't stand by any longer. I rushed toward her, grabbed her raised hand, and yanked the stick away. "Stop! What on earth are you doing? Have you lost your mind?" She stared at me, breathing heavily, her eyes blazing with inexplicable fury. We escorted her out to another room. Then I gathered my strength and returned to check on Michael, the son who was still lying motionless under the blanket. I approached cautiously. Could he be injured? Or is he dead? I moved closer, sitting beside the bed, desperate for any sign, any sound or movement. Michael, are you all right? No response. At that moment, Mr. Allen entered the room, standing silently by the door.
Pull the blanket.
What?
Pull the blanket, Dr. Adam.
With trembling hands, I pulled the blanket back, slowly, like unveiling a terrible secret. What I saw froze my blood. There was no body. No one. Just neatly arranged pillows, placed deliberately to create the illusion of a sleeping figure. I stumbled back in disbelief. But, I saw her hitting him. There was someone there. I swear I saw it with my own eyes.
I know. So I called you, Dr. Adam. What you just witnessed happens every single night for the past 3 years. I've run out of patience. I can't endure it any longer.
What I saw suggests a severe psychological disorder. I believe your wife is suffering from traumatic shock, possibly triggered by the sudden loss of someone she was deeply attached to. Cases like this are common after devastating losses.
It's more than that, doctor. My wife has been struggling with health issues for decades.
What kind of issues?
Nearly 30 years ago, my wife was pregnant with our son, Michael. One late night, while driving home, we were in a terrible accident. She suffered a severe head injury. I had fractures and bruises, but in that moment, I thought I'd lose everything. My wife and our unborn child. Thankfully, the baby survived. But my wife's head injury left its mark. She completely lost her memory. She didn't recognize me. Didn't even remember being pregnant. The doctors advised me to surround her with familiar things, old photos, shared memories, but none of it worked. I had to tell her our love story all over again. How we met, fell in love, got married, and were expecting a child. It wasn't easy to regain her trust. After a month, she left the hospital. I thought she was recovering, but I was wrong. Alan's voice cracked. She began experiencing severe headaches, followed by sudden blackouts. When she regained consciousness, she remembered nothing of what happened. Then Michael was born and we thought all the pain had disappeared. But during one of his checkups, the doctor told us the truth.
Unfortunately, it seems the baby suffered neurological disturbances during the accident. The effects may appear later in his growth or behavior.
It was Michael. Quiet, kind, more obedient than he should have been. But as he grew older, we began to notice the withdrawal, the isolation, the aversion to people. And with each passing year, his condition worsened. Then, 2 years ago, he passed away. His heart stopped suddenly. And when my wife lost consciousness a few days later, during one of her shifts, she forgot that he had died. She woke up as if nothing had happened and asked about him. And when I told her the truth, she broke down. She refused to believe me, denied his death completely. And the next day, she began acting as if he was still alive. As you can see, Dr. Adam, I don't live anymore. I fight to survive every single day in a house that no longer knows the difference between reality and illusion.
Perhaps I can help her. I'll recommend an intensive psychological treatment program. I can't promise any guaranteed results. Her response will depend on many factors, but we'll try, and that alone is worth trying.